fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Be the fam, that's what they call me.
What's going on, everybody? This is Trey from the Real Hicks family, and by the title, you already know what's going on today. I'm going to talk about the New Orleans Saints. That's my favorite team. If your team not the New Orleans Saints, shame on you. We always recruit new people, but we can go ahead and discuss the draft picks. We can go ahead and talk about the past. We can go ahead and talk about the future. We can talk about the team right now. So this is going to be my open forum podcast to pretty much challenge everybody out there against my team. And you know what my team is, because this house, majority is New Orleans Saints. My wife is a 49ers fan, but we're going to go ahead and ride with the New Orleans Saints for the most part because I'm a diehard. My wife, I feel like she's more of a bandwagon because her dad, and you know how they, I like this here because it's kind of like in the family Jews, but we ain't going to go ahead and go into all that. I'm a diehard fan. I'm talking about when Aaron Brooks was there. I'm talking about when Joe Horn was putting cell phones up under the telephone post, under the touchdown post and everything. So I went back as far as there. I can say that's probably around the time where I started being a real fan. I don't know about the Dome Patrol. I was in the city, but I didn't know much about it. But I heard about it. But before that, Aaron Brooks, Deuce McAllister, Joe Horn, up until when they won the Super Bowl, up until now, to be honest with you. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it, man. Honestly, I'm going to just go ahead and say I feel good about our team this year. And I'm going to say it like this because we have a young team. We still got a young team. We brought some veterans back in. And Malcolm Jenkins, I'm going to tell you right now, when he went to Philly, he balled out. If he was playing like that when he was in New Orleans, he would have never left. You feel me? So unless we just was, I don't know what the situation was at the time with our salary cap or whatever the case may be, but we wasn't really paying defensive players like that outside of Cam Jordan. And I think we had Will Smith at the time. Rest in peace, Will Smith, on his tragedy. Also, man, look, I'm not happy that we let Ted Ginn go, but I understand it because Ted wasn't really putting up the production like that. But I understand we throw the ball to Michael Thomas probably 70 to 75% of the time. But I just want to say, shout out to everybody. Man, look, we got a young team, man. I'm just saying, like, you got to understand, speed kills. And if we get 2 or 3 people, like if they let Tommy Lee Lewis, not Tommy Lee Lewis, I'm sorry. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about, the kick return dude. I can't talk about his name right now. I'm sorry. But you talk about how the Patriots run their offense with the quick dude out the slot, running a lot of quick routes, option routes. We can kill, man. Get all that pressure off of Michael Thomas like that. And then if our running game get up there, Alvin Kamara, AK, you up for that contract, boy. And I see how old boy kind of cashed in Carolina, man. You my boy, and I love you $100 grand, man. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think you're gonna have a tough battle trying to get that money out of the Saints organization like that, because the fact is, be told, the history doesn't really, outside of Deuce, we don't really pay our running backs like that. I love you to death, boy, but I'm gonna tell you like this here. I respect everything that you do, but when they take you and they take MT out the game, they focus more on y'all. We really need more like that 3rd or 4th option. So I respect what they did going out and getting Emmanuel Sanders. He's definitely a better all-around receiver than Ted Ginn. Now, Drew Brees is definitely on a decline as far as that arm is concerned, but he's still very precise. I'll say anywhere from 5 to 20 yards, which that's what we do. So we're going to go ahead and talk about their draft picks. First round pick, we got Cesar Ruiz. And I understand that move because I guarantee you we let Warford go. So we trying to save money on that aspect. I'm not sure his contract details, but I understand that if you're going on to the future and you're trying to win now, and I guarantee you, before it's all said and done, before the season starts, they're going to probably add a couple more pieces that's going to be pivotal to what we're doing. I like our free agent, unrestricted free agent pickups, signees, because we like to dibble and dab in that situation because a lot of our guys, they're young, they're hungry, so they're doing anything to make the team. We paying a lot of our top guys right now, but it's gonna go ahead and kind of settle itself off at the end because we don't need the big names to really make plays. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is definitely a solid second wide receiver option going into the season. I like it. He's not the youngest, but if you need somebody else to pass that ball to, he definitely knows how to get open. Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest dude in the world. I'm not comparing him to Jerry Rice. Let's get that straight. I'm saying experience kind of always wins at the end of the day. So with that being said, let's go on to our next draft pick. In the third round, we got Zach Bond, linebacker. I can't say I was surprised by that move, but it kind of also seems we don't run a 3-4 defense. So to have him rushing off the edge out the outside linebacker spot, I really feel like we're gonna run more of a multiple defense type scenario. He don't put his hand down in the dirt. And unless we run out of nickel and kind of put him on that as that fourth down lineman, but I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to come out because at the same time, what he did in college and compared to what he can possibly do in the NFL, like I'm waiting for my boy to jump off on that defensive line. So outside of Cam, you know you're going to get yours, baby. Shout out. Boom, boom. You know how it is. So another pick in the third round, we picked up a tight end. I'm going to tell you right now, there was a lot of speculation and reports about how they tried to stop Carolina from getting certain draft picks and just to get that guy from going there. I really like Randy Moss' son out of LSU. I was kind of expecting us to kind of take a dare on that one because he's talented. He got a good thoroughbred in his family. He know how to go up and get the ball. Outside of Jared Cook, I really feel like we won that game against the 49ers. I know my wife going to kill me when she see this, but I really feel like, let me tell you how serious that was. We was in here watching that game. I'm talking about the surround sound on like we in the stadium, and she walked out at like the last minute and a half when we went down and scored, and not knowing our defense was so suspect. Man, if we could just solidify a top 15 defense, we'll be unstoppable, man. We can be a short dynasty in a short period. And I'm saying that because our defense always gives up the big plays. So bringing Malcolm back and getting another linebacker on our defense that's athletic, I kind of salute that because I understand the more pressure on the ball, the less pressure you got on the back end. So like I said, I'm in this. I played since I was in middle school, actually. Man, I'm going to tell you, I'm a diehard fan till I die. But at the end of the day, I want my guys to succeed, man. I've been holding on since 2009, 2010, man, for y'all to go ahead and bring it back. But the final pick was the controversial pick about Tommy Stevens from Mississippi State. They brung in Jameis Winston. They brung Taysom back. Then they draft this guy we got you. So that means we got 4 quarterbacks on the draft. In the quarterback room. I don't know Sean Payton's philosophy behind this. I think for the most part we do. We still gonna keep Taysom in his. I think his role gonna pick up this year with that money that we gave him. But at the same time, I don't think we really gonna rely on Winston 100%. To really come in and drive. Yes, he has the experience. And I think I read some report talking about he had LASIK eye surgery, talking about he can see better. Go figure, though. That's the reason the Bucs released you. No, it was Tom Brady. But they didn't want to move on with you for a reason, man. You're on the team, and I got to respect that you're on the team, but I don't necessarily like the move. But if you go from an experience standpoint and bringing somebody in, with game time experience, that's always pivotal. I mean, look at Fitzgerald down in Miami. journeyman, man. Been jumping them all over, everywhere you can see it. So how I feel about our team this year, I really feel like we have the possibility of being better than last year because a lot of our guys are coming into our own. I just hope AK don't hold out. But there haven't been any reports of it just yet. I believe he has maybe 1 or 2 years left. No, he should be going into the 5th. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. But for all the true Saints fans, this is Trey from the Real Hicks family, and I wanted to say we're gonna start a new series with this right here. It's gonna be the New Orleans Saints recap. So if you wanna go ahead and battle, we can talk about this, we can talk about that. So go ahead and comment below. Let me know who your team is, why you feel like they're gonna do better than the Saints. They're not. Why you feel like they're gonna beat the Saints. They're not. Why you feel like y'all gonna pass us in the playoffs. You're not, because at the end of the day, number 9 is still back there taking them snaps, and we kind of solidified a lot of question marks this all season. So till next time, everybody, this Trey from the Real Hicks family signing off, baby. Salute.